So this is a subject that I've been meaning to touch on for a while because I feel like I could do my part in conveying knowledge to especially the younger generation coming up in the sport, and even to those who really have never paid attention to it. But when it comes to performance enhancing drugs and your blood work, that's something that I feel like everybody should have a little bit of knowledge in, so you don't end up in the hospital or even the morgue later on or earlier than you should have. So what do I mean by performance enhancing drugs and affecting a lipid profile? Well, your lipid profile simply refers to your HDL and LDL, your good cholesterol, your bad cholesterol, total cholesterol. And when you raise your testosterone levels to a super physiologic level, and that's just a fancy word for raising your testosterone levels higher than what they are in a natural state. When you get your testosterone levels too high, that will flip-flop your HDL and LDL. So your good cholesterol decreases, your HDL decreases, your LDL increases. And what was the problem with that? You know, cholesterol, that's not that big of a deal. Why does that matter? Well, even if your total cholesterol is good, if your LDL is high and your HDL is low, then that means you are slowly but surely building up plaque and deposits in your arteries or veins or wherever in your circulatory system. But HDL, one of its functions is to scavenge LDL. So it will go around and it'll pick up the LDL and it'll take it back to the liver and you get rid of it. So in that sense, having a higher HDL is good. So when you take performance enhancers and you raise your testosterone level to a super physiologic level, your HDL goes down, LDL goes up, and you end up depositing more plaque in your arteries than what you're able to clear away, because you have flip-flopped that ratio. And I feel like when kids are 26, 27, even 40 years old, and they're having heart attacks, a lot of the time I believe this is what it's contributed to. And as much as we all like to think that taking performance enhancing drugs don't have negative side effects if you take them in moderate dosages, a lot of times that's not the case. And it is the silent killer. You know, you can get the blood work done and you can look at your cholesterol levels and you can brush those results to the side and think, I'll think about that when I'm older. I'll think about that when I'm older than 40 or older than 50 or whatever. But now is the time for all you 20-year-old kids out there who are starting to pound the drugs. You need to really think about that. And I know, 20 years old, you're invincible. I was definitely 20 one time, and I sure as hell thought I was invincible. But something will happen along the way that will remind you of your mortality, whether it be an injury or a trip to the hospital. Something's going to wake you up one day, and you could be smart now and start to look at things like this, like your LDL, HDL. We could carry that over into your kidneys and your liver enzymes and your hemoglobin and A1C and things like that. But in terms of having an actual freaking heart attack when you're in a young age, really start to pay attention to those lipid profiles, and it could save you some serious consequences down the road. Now, don't get me wrong, when it comes to competition, everybody's going to do what they got to do to win, and that's fine. But when it's at what cost? Personally, my health and my clients' health, that's number one. And you can ask any of my clients, I have them go, especially if you're going to compete, go get blood work. Go get blood work this week. I mean, and sometimes it's every other freaking week. I want to see what's going on in your body. Because yes, I want to win. I want you to win. But at the same time, I don't want you to win and, you have all these adverse health effects going on at the same time, because there is a way to do it without having all that crap happen as well, or at least keep them to a bare minimum until you can come off again and get your body back to a certain homeostasis. But anyway, the takeaway that I guess I want everybody to take is to pay attention to your blood work. If you're not getting regular blood work, start getting regular blood work. That way you can really start to pay attention to those all the levels that you need to be paying attention to that you're sweeping under the rug right now. Because year after year, if you're never coming off, and I know so many people who never come off, and you're always trying to keep that edge, and you're always keeping in, a testosterone level that's way above normal, I guarantee that you're going to have a heart attack or some form of heart disease somewhere sooner than what you would have if you had paid attention to these levels earlier on. So anyway, that's all I got right now. Hope everybody's having a good week, and stay safe.